Hey guys, a couple of weeks ago I posted a video of a walk around of the Gladiator and talked a little bit about the lift kit and what I had outfitted the Gladiator with. However, what I didn't give you was some hard data as far as actual measurements. And I kind of wanted to wait a little bit, and I wanted to do more of a real world comparison. And so what I did is I went to our local four-wheel drive shop, Dixie Four-Wheel Drive here in St. George, and I got a comparison of what I guess you'd see out there as the typical Gladiator build. You know, 3.5 inches of lift, 37-inch tires. And what I did is I took some measurements from the ground up to the bottom of the chassis, and I did it in 3 places. And then I went to a dealership and I did the same thing with a brand new Rubicon Gladiator. And then we're going to do my Gladiator and we're going to compare the 3 so you have some real world data on what exactly you can expect to gain as far as when you put a lift on. And the benefit of doing this here is I've had my lift on for almost a year and I've got about 13,000 miles on it. So my lift is settled out and broken in. Let's get to it. And Patrick over at Dixie 4x4 allowed me to basically borrow his Gladiator so we can get some measurements. So this Gladiator is your typical build out there that you see on the internet. It's basically a 3.5-inch lift and 37-inch tires. Patrick went with a 3.5-inch Teraflex lift with all adjustable Alpine arms. This is what we're going to compare the other Jeeps with as well, so you can see the difference in ground clearance so that you can make a better decision whether you want to go with no lift, 3.5 inches of lift, or 6.5 inches of lift. Okay guys, so we're going to start at the front body mount here. To the bottom of the frame, we are just about 28 inches from the ground to the bottom of the frame. Okay, let's get the other measurement. Okay, from our center body mount, we are about 18.5 to the bottom of the frame here. So from the ground to the bottom of the frame, 18.5 in the center of the vehicle. And again, that's our breakover angle. Going to the bottom, going from the ground to the bottom of the frame here in the rear, right by the sway bar link, we are about 28 7/8 to the very bottom of the frame. Should give you an idea of the measurements on this typical Gladiator build that you see out there. We'll go measure the others and see how they compare. And if you're out and about and if you love overlanding as well, follow Toby the Goby. Go ahead and check out Dixie Four-Wheel Drive as well. Okay guys, so I thought for a fun comparison, I'd actually show you what these Jeeps look like side by side. And keep in mind that both these lifts have settled out. So my lift has been on for approximately 13,000 miles, and so has Patrick's. With all lifts, they sit a lot higher right out of the box, but over time they kind of settle out and break in. And so both these Jeeps have been broken in as far as their lifts are concerned. But as a fun comparison, first I'll show you the tires. So this is a difference between a 37-inch tire and a 40-inch tire. Now the disclaimer here is that my tires are about 20-25 psi, where I believe Patrick's is around 30. There isn't a big difference really in height between the 2 tires. There's a little difference in width, so I just thought that would be interesting. The other thing, as far as visually looking at the fenders, I have a chop kit on mine, so it appears that my lift is a lot higher. However, Patrick's just has the stock fender set up. He doesn't have a chop kit here. If he had a chop kit, it would be about here. So you'd basically omit this part down here. Thought that would be informative so you can see the difference of the vehicle. There obviously is a difference in height between this one and that one. But again, Patrick's build is what's typically out there. And my build is, you don't see it as much. So comparing the back, we both have stock bumpers. He has a 37-inch spare tire underneath, which I don't. He also has a rack and a rooftop tent, which I don't. So there is quite a bit of difference in height in the rear, as you can see. And here's a shot standing a little bit further back that really shows the difference between the two. So our first point of measurement is going to be the front of the frame. This will give us some real world data of how tall this lift kit is. Right there, I'm about 30 3/4 of an inch. So I am 23 and looks like 3/8, just over 23 1/4, right there to the bottom of the chassis. So from the bottom of the ground up to the bottom of the length of the frame is 35 1/4 of an inch. Hey guys, I'm at Dixie 4-wheel drive. Bryce, one of the owners, allowed me to take some measurements off one of their shop vehicles. It is a Gladiator that has a JKS 3.5-inch lift with Fox 2.5-inch shocks, adjustable, and 39-inch by 1350 Canadi mud hogs. 27 1/4. I'm at a dealership here, and right behind me is a stock Rubicon Gladiator. Now there's no badging on it, but I looked inside, it has the lockers. The salesman here at the dealership told me that they pulled off the badging for some reason. One of the customers didn't want it. Okay, so this is the front body mount, and right underneath it, it's about 21 3/4 of an inch right there from the ground up. I am just about 14 1/8 of an inch. The bottom of the frame in the rear here by the sway bar link is about 26 1/4, give or take, and that's all the way from the ground. Okay guys, I hope that was informative as far as comparing the Jeeps there and the different lift heights and the different tire sizes. So when you're out there thinking about what you want to do as far as your Gladiator is concerned, you can kind of use these maybe as a platform with some real world measurements. And I encourage you, if you see a Jeep you like, go out there and measure it, and that will give you an idea of where it's going to sit. I want to thank Dixie. They didn't sponsor this video. However, the great shop, they let me use their shop truck, as well as Patrick here, who's an employee. He let me use his Gladiator so that we can show these differences. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're in town, hit me up in the comments, and love to take you out, go wheeling with you. And also let me know in the comments if there's something that you want to see specifically, a comparison, or there's a certain trail, a certain obstacle. I'll be happy to oblige if I can. Thanks for watching, and get out there and have some fun. Cheers.